My name is Matt Bullock, and I am the president and owner of a company called TentCraft, and we are a manufacturer of outdoor advertising supplies. So primarily tents with companies' logos, but a lot of associated custom structures and outdoor digital signage and flags and table covers, and primarily products that are used in outdoor experiential marketing. I think when I was 19, I applied to the US Forest Service to be a firefighter, and I was hired by a little district up in northern Idaho. And so I fought fire for 3 years and loved it. The military came into the mix when, after September 11th, I was at University of Virginia. And so I joined the National Guard very idealistically, wasn't expecting to be called up right away, which I was. And so I spent a year working in a prison in Guantanamo Bay, but at least I didn't go to Afghanistan or Iraq or anywhere else. And it did pay for all my college. And so it kind of gave me liberty to change my major a few more times, and finally graduated, got a job doing investment banking in New York. I hated it. And the stepfather of one of my really good friends continues to own a nationwide digital print company in Traverse City, which is where I'm based now. So I had no Michigan connections, had never been to Michigan. And I did have an interest in doing something entrepreneurial. And he basically said, hey, there's a product, it's a page in my catalog, it's a tent system. My team doesn't want to do it. My VP of sales says it's a waste of time. VP of manufacturing says it's non-core. If you want to do it, this will be your company. I'll bankroll it. Let's see what we can do. And I thought it would be an entrepreneurial opportunity with a lot of the upside of owning my own company, but without a lot of the risk, because at that point it was my former partner's capital and his inventory. And we structured option agreements to where when I got the company to a certain point, I could buy in at the original valuation.
I mean, that's an incredible journey. So when you started TentCraft, you didn't know anything necessarily about tents, it sounded like. And tell me about what you learned in that role and why you're passionate about it.
I'm really passionate about the company culture. I really like manufacturing now. I like that we're creating jobs in our community, which needs jobs. I think our customers are really cool. Our customers are marketers that have big ideas, and we help them bring their ideas to life. I am proud that we vertically integrated, which was very helpful for us during COVID when kind of the demand completely changed from outdoor events to 100% medical applications.
Like zooming out, what role do you see technology playing in the future of your work and your industry?
For manufacturing in general, technology is just absolutely central. It allows us to control the cadence in which we manufacture products, and so the speed. It allows us to customize and build new things. It allows us to control quality and have different reports and different alerts for if something is out of whack. It's also very crucial on the customer experience. Customers just aren't willing to deal with a lot of friction.
How do you keep your team focused and motivated as the organization grows and keep that culture that you tried to instill from the beginning?
On the focused, we have a pretty good cadence of just company operations. And so we do daily huddles. Most people in TentCraft are on 2 huddles a day. So they'll have a departmental huddle, and then we'll have a big huddle where people come together to look at KPIs, quick department updates. It's not the time for problem solving. We do a weekly team meeting. So for me, it's the SLT team, so the senior leadership team, that's very task-based to make sure that what people are working on in a 1-week period. We have a monthly, what we call BPR meeting. It's a business plan review meeting. So this is a bigger team than just an SLT meeting. It's pretty much anyone that manages someone at TentCraft. And so people give kind of quick department updates with what they've worked on, what the result was, and what they're working on next. But it's kind of in a bridge format to a wider group. And then culture, we could probably talk about the whole time. I do believe that smart people always are going to have a lot of options. Like every company that I know is hiring people right now. And so I need to remember and communicate and show appreciation, for people that are choosing to work here, because they could work anywhere. A company is just a group of people, and good people are always going to have other options. So Scaling Up by Vern Harnish, or 2-Second Lean by Paul Akers, which is a really nice introduction to lean manufacturing techniques that you can apply at work or in your personal life. We have had some new product introductions that just haven't gone as well as I'd hoped. And I wish we were able to use kind of more of a lean startup approach to take, a small step. But sometimes when you're actually making stuff, you have to pay for tooling up front and then place big minimum order quantities. And so I just have done some new product stuff and had a lot of inventory that just didn't sell. I have probably made excuses for people that were culturally toxic because I was so grateful for what they did in 2010 and what had blinders on relative to how they were impacting the team in 2017. Smoke jumper. I think the smoke jumpers that parachute out of airplanes into fires and then keep small fires from getting big. I think that would have been very awesome. If I wasn't making tents, I would probably try to be making something else or try to buy another operating company and do it. Like I like making stuff. The guy, Paul Akers, that wrote the 2-Second Lean book, he's just such an inspirational leader. He's all about this idea of continual improvement, and he just embodies the growth mindset that we can all be better, we can all learn new things. Anyone that makes big, complex things, and then you walk in their facilities and they're spotless and it's so organized and have metrics. And so I'm really impressed by, like, Ford does a really nice tour of their River Rouge facility, which is where they make the F-150, but it is very impressive. Salesforce right now, just because it is so central to everything that we do. Flexibility and maybe some element of like a positive attitude or grit. Didn't Angela Duckworth talk about grit? How you just have to just keep figuring things out. You just have to give things a shot and try them and learn from them. I read the book Shoe Dog, which I didn't think was the greatest book, but there was a great Phil Knight quote where he said, "The cowards never started and the weak died along the way. That leaves us, ladies and gentlemen, us." And it's like, well, it's like we're the ones that have to do it. And I actually thought about that when I was asked to be on the board of our regional medical system up here. And it's a big board and it seemed like a pain in the ass, but if I don't do it, who else is going to do it? They're going to have some other bozo. Our medical system is the largest employer in Northern Michigan. And, to ask some hard questions, not just rubber stamp everything, and hold people accountable, I think is important. So this idea of like, if we don't do it, who else is going to do it?